So, start talking.
Hello.
Sit.
Yeah, it's better.
So you can even go higher than that as well.
I can talk louder.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I don't talk that loud.
You don't have to, but you can. I can
feel like I'm screaming.
Put the microphone. No, you're talking. You're talking actually quite normal.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Maybe I feel like I'm screaming because I've got these on.
Do you want me to turn those down?
No, that's okay.
And do you want me to get out?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Okay, bye.
Bye. See you later. Round 2.
Round 2.
See how much zigzag? It's a lot better.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Enjoy.
Okay.
Let me know. Just drop me a text message when you want me to come back in.
I will. Thank you.
No worries.
Is it filming too?
You should be recording. Just press that. See that black little circle one down the bottom right hand corner here?
This?
There we go. Stop recording. Yeah, so that's right.
Okay.
So you want to go back to, you want to get rid of, just minimize it. The yellow button in the middle, or orange button, sorry.
Okay.
You can minimize it there.
Cool.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
No worries.
Okay. Episode 1 of my podcast, Under the Covers. Welcome and thank you so much for dropping by. I'm so excited to finally get this up and going. It's been a plan, it's been a dream, it's been a goal that I've been working towards for some time. So really, really excited to get going. So today I'm going to introduce myself, tell you a little bit about myself and how I became a relationship and intimacy coach, what my vision and my goal or my intention is for the podcast. And then I want to talk about how to heal a broken relationship. So firstly, let's talk about me. My name is Lauren Blundell and I am a relationship and intimacy coach. I've been coaching for about 3 years now and I absolutely love what I do. And a lot of people ask me, how did you get into this? And the short answer is that it was written in the stars for me. And, the more that I read about spirituality and the different dimensions that are in the universe and the fact that we have birth charts that we can have them unpacked and just all different loads of other things that I've learned. There's no surprise why I do this. It gives me great joy and contentment to be able to help people in the most intimate areas of their relationship and intimate areas of their lives, really, and the trust that my clients have in me that I'm able to, they let me into those intimate and vulnerable areas. I have so much respect for my clients to allow me to do that. So, what else can I tell you about me? I suppose my journey with relationships has been a little bit tumultuous, I guess, or I've had a lot to work around in terms of relationships. When I was younger, my parents divorced when I was quite young, and it was quite traumatic for me. I'm a very sensitive woman, and I grew up believing that I grew up with a complex equivalence is what it's called, and basically I believed marriage equaled divorce or marriage equaled pain. And so I never wanted to get married. And whilst I have worked through that, I now still question whether marriage is for me, only because I understand the construct around marriage. And I'm a believer of love, firstly. So in terms of the intimacy part of my coaching, I personally have gone on a journey to become really confident with myself and as a woman with my sexuality. And I think that that was such an empowering thing that I have done for myself, to be able to have such conversations around sex, sexuality, masturbation, the body, and how to connect on a sexual, intimate level. Having those conversations and being able to have those conversations really confidently really makes me feel empowered as a woman. And so I've been on a bit of a journey with my sexuality. I'm rambling, so we can just cut that the fuck out. Okay, so my intention and vision for the podcast, I definitely I don't want to have you guys listening to hour and a half or 2 hour long podcast. I want these to be short and sharp, 20-30 minute podcasts for you, so you can listen to them on your way to work or as you're walking or something like that, and be able to have some takeaways that you can take away into your life, into your relationship, and into the bedroom. So that's my intention. And I am so the other reason why I'm so pleased and excited to have this podcast up and running is because I get to then reach out to people and empower people on such a large scale. And that's always been my intention with my work, is helping as many people, both men and women, to feel empowered and feel confident within their relationship, how they're relating within their bedroom, but also within themselves. Because when you feel really solid within you, you definitely show up differently in all areas of your life, not just your relationship and not just in the bedroom with your partner. So, and why I'm also passionate about my work is because, unfortunately, we don't really get taught how to love, how to communicate properly, how to bond, and our sex education is pretty underwhelming on a global scale. And unfortunately, then, we're not given the tools to be able to succeed in these areas of our lives. And so we end up just stabbing in the dark, essentially, and trying to be successful in our relationships through trial and error. And I don't believe that needs to be the case. I don't believe that you need to have a long-term relationship and nearly be on the brink of a breakup or a divorce to then finally turn the relationship around. Your relationship is definitely going to be the most beautiful personal development journey that you will take, because your partner is a reflection of you and will show up and shine a light on your triggers and on the areas within you that do need attention and do possibly need healing. So that's why that's why your relationship will be the most beautiful personal development journey that you go on. And just always remember that the partner that you're with at the moment, regardless if you're married to them or not, is perfect for you, okay? Because they are going to be helping you grow, they are going to help you evolve, they're going to help you learn a lot about yourself. So, what I love to encourage my clients is to stop blaming their partner and pointing the finger at their partner for certain ways that they feel, because your partner is essentially just showing up, doing their thing, being them. And it's unfortunate that you feel those types of emotions that are arising, whether it's fear or insecurity or jealousy or whatever it is. But I really encourage people to take responsibility for those emotions, and when they arise within you, to go on a journey, whether that is buying some books to understand emotions more, or you taking a course, go to a workshop, get a coach, get a therapist. Like, there's so many different ways and avenues and channels at different price points that you can engage in order for you to understand yourself at a deeper level and work on certain things that will allow you then to show up differently in your relationship. Because this is what I like to explain to people, that we all grow up in some form of dysfunction. None of us have grown up in a perfect world, because perfect is unobtainable. So laugh at the fact that we have all grown up in dysfunction. We're all walking around, and I usually like to say, with a bit of a dead arm, right? And what I mean by that is that we have, as young children, shown our complete selves to someone, whether they be our parent or guardian or whoever they are. We show our complete selves and show our true self. And for whatever reason, we get shamed, or some part of us doesn't get the love that we require for that part of us to flourish. So what we do, because we're young and we're trying to learn about our external world, we go, okay, I don't receive love by being this part of myself, so therefore I am actually going to stop being that, because the other parts of me get love from my guardians, or the big people, the magical people that take care of us, right? So essentially we become adults and we're walking around with what I call a dead arm, because not our whole complete self is showing. What I do as a coach is essentially breathe life back into your dead arm and give you the chance to access all the areas of yourself, be completely you, show up as your best self in your relationship, and be able to create deeper connections and loving intimacy with your partner, because you are confident to be vulnerable. And vulnerability is a sign of a lot of confidence within you, being able to have those types of conversations that genuinely we do shy away from. That shows a lot of courage and a lot of confidence. So yeah. Next, I wanted to talk about how you can fix a broken relationship. Every relationship can be fixed, okay? And it's really got to do with the commitment that the two people in the relationship have for each other and for the relationship that you currently have, the container that you get in, right? And I just want to say that your relationship, you are not your relationship, okay? You are an individual, and so is your partner. And what I like to say, or how I like to describe a relationship, is that you both get into the relationship like you both get into a car. And because your relationship is a very high value relationship, I usually describe the car as a Rolls Royce, even though I like Mustangs. But for some reason in my business, they're all Rolls Royces. So think about how you take care of a Rolls Royce, how much money and investment you put into a Rolls Royce to actually have it in the first place. But then how much investment needs to go into the Rolls Royce to make sure that it works properly. The tires are pumped up and the oil's good and it's cleaned and it looks schmick and it drives and perfectly. I'm not a car person, so I don't know why I pick a car as the analogy in my business. But anyway, so think of your relationship as something that needs to be nurtured. It needs work. You need to invest in your relationship. If you don't look after the Rolls Royce, it's going to rust. The tires are going to go flat. The oil's going to run out, and essentially you won't be able to drive it, or it'll drive off the road. So I hope that helps in terms of differentiating your identity, because you are not your relationship. You are you, your partner is them. You get into it. And depending on how you nurture that relationship is depending on how far you will travel down the lovely road. The journey called relationship, marriage, togetherness. So the second, point I wanted to cover in relationships is we all operate from our own map of reality, essentially. So we have our own belief system, we have our individual values, we have our individual needs, we have references, whether they're good or bad, for a whole range of things within our life. So it could be good or bad references for love, marriage, sex, men, women, chores, business. Like, it's endless what kind of references that we have. And then we have our energy. We have our masculine and feminine energy, and the sub archetypes within those energies. And what else do we have? We have our traumas and our triggers and things that have happened to us throughout our life where it's actually caused a bit of a wound. So, when we feel like, the same thing's going to happen to us in our relationship, we start to act out in a certain way. Okay, and there's a whole list of other things that make up your reality and make up your map of the world, and that's you. Then your relationship, your partner, has their own map of the world and their own reality that they are operating out of. So what I like to encourage people to do in their relationship is park their reality at the door. When they are wanting to create intimacy in their relationship, get curious about your partner. Get curious about the way that they grew up. What are their thoughts about certain things? What are their fears? What are their loves? What are their desires? What are their references? So, for an example, my reference when I was growing up towards marriage, I think I commented on this before, was that marriage equaled pain and marriage equaled divorce. So you can essentially see how that has affected me throughout my life, because my reference for marriage was not a very good one. So I had to change my reference for marriage in order for me to want to engage in marriage. Does that make sense? I hope so. So what I like to encourage is that you get really curious about your partner. And don't ever rest on your laurels, okay? So you have dated your partner for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever. They are continuously evolving. They're continuously growing, just the same as you are. You're not the same person that you were 10 years ago, and your partner won't be the same person that they were in 10 years. They weren't even the same person that they were 2 years ago. So drop the notion of, well, we've been dating for 2 years. You should know this. You should know me. I don't really subscribe to that, because you're always changing. So it's okay to re-ask things. It's okay to open up conversations where you can re-explore each other. And I find that really beautiful, because the more that you grow and the more that you want to understand yourself, the more that your certain aspects of you will change, because your boundary conditions or your knowledge around things will actually expand. I hope that that has made sense, and I hope that that helps. But essentially, when you're in a relationship and you're having an argument, it's a clash of maps. You're coming from your reality and your partner is coming from their reality. And so you're trying to, impose your opinions or whatever, and they're trying to do the same, and then you argue. And the only result of argument is, if it's not managed, if post-argument, if that's not managed in a really loving and caring and understanding way, in a mature way, it can leave both parties feeling very bitter. Resentment can start to breed, and both parties, or one party, might start to withdraw. You don't want that in the relationship. A lot of the times when couples come to work with me, I describe their relationship like they're two people with their backs, from their backs facing each other, and there's this black hole that essentially is in between them, and it's covered with everything that isn't said, that isn't resolved, that isn't spoken about, and the hole just gets bigger the more that they both withdraw from each other. And that's not a good place to be in, because withdrawing love from your partner, unfortunately, people do that because they are fearful of not being loved or fearful of rejection. But the more that you withdraw from your partner, they feel that, and then they will start to withdraw. And basically, what you fear the most is inevitably going to happen. So these exercises can be done in any stage of your relationship. Okay, so I encourage you all the time to be curious about your partner. They're forever changing, so are you. It's okay to have the same conversation every year or something, or just re-ask them to really understand them at a deeper level. One of the most beautiful times that you can have these types of conversations is after you have made love, because there is an immense amount of oxytocin running through both your bodies, which actually decreases your inhibitions and allows you to have more vulnerable conversations. So it's a really beautiful time once you've made love and you're just laying there holding each other, to have really open conversations with each other. So I trust that helps, and that is podcast episode number 1 done and dusted. And I will be back next week for another episode of Under the Covers. Thank you.